Okay folks, this should be the last demo for the day. Let's see if we can make this one come up a treat. Actually, I think brown is not a suitable colour for this, folks. I do think. I think we'll just get rid of the colour altogether. Or maybe we'll select something. Okay, let's see what we have here. Mad Magazine. Oops, sorry, the truck's just gone by. Mad Magazine is what we have. It's TV Week. Interesting. Yeah, these are this is a really old magazine I got from a one of those libraries. What do they call them? Street libraries. And yeah, that was free, and I figured, material for my demos. So yeah, useful. Some useful material to make demos with. Yeah, that's come up looking really quite interesting. Looks really quite nice, actually, this one. Mad Magazine, indeed. Yeah, it's very windy today, dry. It was a bit cloudy this morning, and it looks like the clouds, there are some clouds, but pretty much all gone. Looked like it was going to rain this morning, but it didn't. So yeah, this is the Mad Magazine TV Week. Yeah. It's funny, folks. These satirical, I think that's the word. Interesting. Sometimes you have to make fun of things, folks, to stop yourself from going mad. Let's see how we go with that. Yeah, that's come up really quite bright. That has. Looks a bit contrasty. I do think we might adjust the contrast and see. We'll do a bit of an experiment with the contrast. Yeah, one of the first pieces of electronic art I did. I must have been about 4 years old, and my parents had a colour TV. No, back in 1975 or 1976, I think it was. I don't remember the year, but I've got it. But they had an old television called a Rank Arena. I don't know the model of it, but it was just an old tube TV like what you see on the front of this magazine. A tube TV. Before we had flat screens, we had glass tubes. We all remember those, most of us do. They were still making them up until the early 2000s, I think. But basically, yeah, we had one of those, and when I was a kid, I used to play around with the contrast and the contrast knob and another knob. I don't know what that one did, but we did have. You could tweak the TV, and to change the contrast or the brightness or whatever they had on there. And I was only a 4-year-old, and I'd already discovered that you could tweak those knobs and do some really weird shit with your TV. And I was only a 4-year-old, or was I 4 or was I 3? I don't remember, but I remember doing it. I remember playing around with the knobs on the TV, and it was really fun. Dad wasn't impressed. He was not impressed. Having to retune the knobs, the saturation. I think saturation, or I know it had a contrast knob, and I used to play with it. And that was my first foray into my first remembrance of electronic art as a kid. TV. I was a kid, a little baby. No, not a bloody baby. No, not that young. But yeah, it was incredible. I thought it was, yeah. But that was. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of kids that discover stuff like that, and I'm sure. In this day and age where gadgets are now everywhere and everyone's got a mobile phone with a screen, almost everyone. Some people opt for the dummy phones, which are a lot cheaper and a lot simpler and probably less likely to be attacked by scammers. But no, I think they too can be attacked as well. I'm not sure. I don't know how it all works. But basically, yeah, I used to play around with the knobs on my parents' TV. I wasn't impressed. Dad wasn't impressed. These are our mirrored pieces. Anyway, enough of that. That's come up looking really quite interesting. I think we can now call this demo quits.